Why do people die? Why can't we just live forever? Why didn't God make us immortal from the start? If He's all-powerful, all-loving, and created life itself, then why is death even part of the story? Why should something as painful, as confusing, as final as death exist in a world created by a perfect God? Some people don't like questions like this. They say it's disrespectful or too deep. But the truth is, these are the questions everyone thinks about, especially in quiet moments or after losing someone they love. And whether we admit it or not, the Bible does not avoid these questions. It confronts them head-on. In the beginning, humanity was not created for death. The Bible shows us a world where people walked with God, lived with Him, breathed His presence. No sickness, no aging, no funerals, no goodbyes. So if we were designed for life, then what went wrong? Why do graves even exist? Here comes the controversial part. Death was never God's idea. It was ours. Not that we asked for it directly, but through disobedience, through independence, through choosing our own way over God's way. People say, why didn't God stop it? But would it still be free will if He forced us to obey? Would it still be a relationship if He programmed us like robots? People want a world without suffering, without consequences, but also a world where they can do whatever they want. You can't have both. Freedom without responsibility is chaos, and chaos always produces death. Humanity disconnected itself from the source of life. Just like a branch cut off from a tree can still look alive for a moment, green, fresh, normal. But eventually it withers. That's what happened to us spiritually. Death wasn't God attacking humanity. It was humanity unplugging itself from the power that kept it alive. Throughout the Bible, you see the same pattern repeating. When people walked with God, there was protection, direction, life. But when they chose rebellion, corruption, and pride, destruction followed. In Noah's time, violence filled the earth so completely that death became the natural result of the world humanity built. In the wilderness, Israel constantly battled between obedience and rebellion. And every time they walked away from God, destruction found them. Even kings who started strong, Saul, Solomon, fell when they turned their hearts away. Death was never just physical, it was spiritual, a deep separation. But here is where the entire story shifts. God never intended to leave death in control. So He entered His own creation. Jesus didn't come just to preach nice messages. He came to confront the very thing that humanity could not escape: death itself. He stood at the tomb of Lazarus and showed that death responds to His voice. He called Himself the resurrection and the life, not just because He gives life, but because He is life. Then He went into death Himself, not as a victim, not as someone defeated, but as a warrior entering the enemy's territory. And when He rose, He did more than prove His divinity. He broke the authority of death over humanity. So here comes another question. If death has been defeated, why do we still die? Why aren't Christians immortal right now? Because we live in the space between the promise and the fulfillment. Eternal life starts the moment we believe, but the transformation of our physical bodies happens at the resurrection. The Bible says our earthly bodies are like tents, temporary, but one day they'll be exchanged for eternal, glorified bodies that can never die again. So why do people die? Because we live in a world that is still broken, still temporary, still waiting for restoration. Why aren't we immortal? Because this chapter of existence is not the final one. Death is not a wall, it's a doorway. It is not the end, it's a transition. For those in Christ, Death is simply the closing of one page and the opening of the chapter we were always meant to live. So if you've ever feared death, questioned it, or felt crushed by it, remember this: death does not have the final say. Not over your family, not over your future, not over your destiny. Jesus holds the keys to death and the grave, and because he lives, you will live also. If this message spoke to you, make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more powerful, faith-building Christian content.